I'm Larry Colvig, founder and CEO of the Haven Financial Group, discussing end of the year things that you could do, should do, or just having a discussion on maybe some of these topics that have been overlooked over the past 2024. Give us a call, 612-504-8400, or simply just call to get on the calendar. There's no cost associated with it, and we'll have good conversation. A good cup of coffee, as we always joke, and fresh cookies as well here in the holidays. I mean, who would want to pass that up?
I don't know. I have to be honest. Are you guys at your house getting all ready for the big holiday season?
Well, we just visited our family on the farm back in Candy, Ohio for Thanksgiving. Great time had by all, which we don't get together very often. Great. All our daughters are home. Which is fantastic. And then, of course, they'll go back to college for 3 weeks, and they will be all with us over the Christmas and the holiday season, which we look forward to, because as they get spread out with 4 daughters, it doesn't happen nearly as often as we'd like to. So we're going to eat it up as much as possible.
Absolutely. You have to do that. You're right. Because as everybody starts to spread out, lives get very, very busy, and it's harder and harder to get everyone back together. And I think that probably a lot of people listening are planning the same kind of situation that you are, during, as we get closer to Christmas and then the New Year's, people recognize that they're going to be busier with family and different events. So right now is the time to take a moment and take a look at your retirement finances and make sure that you've got everything in line as we approach the end of the year. We're talking about that today on the show. And we're going to talk a little bit about contributions. Now, Larry, you have said that this is the time of year that you really need to check to see if you're maximized and start thinking about what kind of contributions you plan to make in 2025.
Yes, and this is affiliated with any age listener that's listening to the show, not just those that are pre-retirees or close to retirement or in retirement. The sooner you can start, the better. That power of compounding will really affect. And retirement accounts are really the pillar to your retirement plan. Making sure that you're contributing as much as possible. Outside of an employer-sponsored plan, like a 401k, 403b, right, deferred comp, you can contribute up to $7,500 if you're over the age of 50. That is for IRA and Roth IRA. IRA, of course, pre-tax money, Roth being after-tax money going into this type of account. Make sure you understand which one is more beneficial, or maybe both, for tax planning. I find that very important. For those listeners that have employer plans, take advantage of that. The threshold or the income thresholds are all the way up, if you're in the catch-up age, to $30,000 a year. Mm-hmm. Well, you take $30,000 compounded for 10, 20, 30 years, you have a retirement nest egg, which you're going to need in retirement. Some of you listening somebody told me I can't do income, I make too much money, so maybe that doesn't make sense. I can't contribute and get the tax advantage of Roth. Maybe entertaining a backdoor Roth is a discussion. For some, it's a very good discussion. Others, it's not applicable. But that's why retirement is not a one glove fits all. It's an individual conversation or a family conversation to find out what makes the most sense at what age. The timing of life becomes that much more important. And these rules change. So hopefully whoever you're working with is informing you of these changes. And again, back to taxes. Tax planning should happen throughout the entire year. Preparation just happens the first part of the year when you do your tax preparation. And there should be no tax surprises, because the planning should lead to very successful tax preparation. And for many, it's the same argument every year. Oh, my goodness, I owe so much money, or this or that. And how about you solve the problem so we don't have that next year?
Sure. So, Larry, let's talk about this. It's very individualized. I recognize that, although there are parameters. But when you keep, talking about what's best for you tax-wise, what are the things that you're looking at to make decisions about that?
Current income for a certain year, pre-retirement or in retirement. Maybe you haven't made a Social Security decision yet, and you're before full retirement age, which was based on your birthday, which could be 65, 60 some odd months, up to 67. There's income limits So maybe it doesn't make sense to turn on Social Security because of the income thresholds. There's just a lot of conversations that go into that. And everybody's situation might be similar, but very, very different. Maybe you're going to continue to work. Maybe the spouse, if you're married, is going to. Where is the income going to come from? What's the tax classification? Pretty much all retirement and income is driven by the tax situation. And Kim, I want to point out one that kind of gets overlooked sometimes here at the end of the year. If you have the opportunity to max out that health savings account, that HSA account, please do. As mentioned before, I think that we think that is more valuable, can be more valuable than that Roth IRA because, first of all, you're going to want as much money in there when you retire as possible. It goes in tax-free. It comes out tax-free for qualified medical expenses, maybe Medicare premiums. So max that HSA out as much as you can every single year. Again, it starts with the conversation piece to find out what areas can you improve on, if at all, and if so, implement these processes, which is where we are fully involved in the implementation. It's part of our process as getting to know you and understanding you, the discovery process, coming up with some strategies and recommendations that we'll talk through to see if they make sense, why they make sense. I think it's important to have an understanding and awareness of why you do something, and then we help people implement those strategies if they see fit, and then don't just put it on the shelf. Monitor it, have continued conversation. Life happens quickly, and that is really our process. We take every person that comes in our door through that process, and we help people in various ways. Everything doesn't need to be under the same roof, but you've heard me say retirement puzzle pieces should be coordinating. They should be working together. And so often they're working in different directions, which is not maximizing the potential.
Sure. So, Larry, when it comes to retirement accounts, let's say that there are people who are listening right now and they definitely want some advice on this and they can't get that taken care of before the end of the year. Are there a lot of deadlines, or can these issues be taken care of during the course of the year?
Well, that's why we like to do planning throughout the year to avoid the deadline at the end of the year. Yep. Of course, tax time is where you can contribute up to those contributions can be till the end of the tax season, where December 31st is when conversions have to be done. So if one misses an opportunity this year, let's make sure not to miss it next year. Do we have a couple weeks to put this in place? Yes. At Haven Financial Group, our deadline, and with Charles Schwab and Fidelity Investments, which the investment team we manage with, our kind of drop dead deadline is after pretty much December 7th, just because so many people wait to the end of the year, and there's a good chance it's not going to get done, and then you'll be upset and disappointed, and whoever. Don't set yourself up for failure. Set yourself up for success throughout the course of the year, and avoid those annual mistakes that you've made for the last 5 years. Let's just stop doing that.
Absolutely. So if you have questions about your retirement accounts and your contributions, and, maybe we can get that taken care of before the end of this year. But if not, like you just heard from Larry, you want to make sure that you're not making mistakes that, go into the next couple of years. Then let's give them a call. The number is 612-504-8400. Again, that number is 612-504-8400. Call, set up a free consultation, go in and talk to the folks at Haven Financial Group. Talk to them about your retirement accounts. Talk to them about your planning. Bring your portfolio if you already have one. Maybe it needs updating. Maybe you don't have a portfolio at all, and then you can start from scratch. Again, that number is 612-504-8400. And Larry, again, at this stage of the game, is it too late to get in to worry about those contributions, or can people still get things taken care of?
Many of the things can still be taken care of,
okay.
But let's start the conversation now rather than wait to the new year, because next you start a new year, people get busy once again, and next thing it'll be mid-year and nothing changes. And if you don't like the results that you're getting in any of these areas or the attention you may be getting, why not turn over a new leaf or at least get a second opinion? If there's nothing to lose, only to gain, it was quality time well spent.
612-504-8400. That is the number for Haven Financial Group. A tax planning checklist. Oh, Larry talks about tax planning all the time, and it's very important to him, and it should be very important to you.